Today on the Tiger Lacrosse Report, Coach Sean Nadelen and I will preview the Tigers' top 20 matchup against the Hoyas of Georgetown. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now.
Or is this the high? Just let it go, enjoy the ride. Without the low, there ain't a high.
AT&T knows the best kind of holiday is the kind where everyone gets what they wished for. Make this holiday extra happy when you buy one, get one free on our most popular smartphones. Like the Samsung Galaxy S6. Buy one, get one free. So spread some cheer and capture every minute of it. Right now at AT&T, buy one, get one free on our most popular smartphones.
How long does it take to change the game of basketball? Days, years, decades? How about 0.4 seconds? All of a sudden, big ain't so big no more. Small ain't so small. The step back three is the new dunk. Follow through is the new poster. Range is the new hang time. How long to change the game of basketball? 1 second or less.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl and chocolate-covered pretzel. How can you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packages of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Hello, fans, and welcome to the Towson Sports Network studios for today's episode of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas. The Tigers are ranked 13th in the nation, and they have a top 20 matchup at Johnny Unitas Stadium against number 17 Georgetown on Saturday at noon. Last year, the Tigers defeated the Hoyas 9-6, and joining me now, as always, the head coach of the Tigers, Sean Nadelen. Now, Coach, last year you beat them 9-6. You jumped on the Hoyas right away. I mean, they were in a big hole from early on. I know you hope that's going to happen against this week. This is a team that's coming off a loss to the number 1 team in the nation, Notre Dame. So they've already been tested.
Absolutely. And Georgetown's a tough team. They come into the season with a lot of returners, a lot of experience, even though they're starting 2 freshmen at attack. Both those guys played well against Notre Dame. But it's a group, again, that, we've had, luckily, the upper hand the past couple of games, past 2 years. And I'm sure that's, been communicated by their coaching staff going into this game, knowing that it's a big tilt within the polls between the 2 teams. And obviously for them to kind of get a feather in their cap moving forward, it'd be a big win for them. So our guys got to have a great week of practice. We got to be ready to step on the field against Georgetown and be ready to, attack them right from the start and, be able to hopefully do what we did last year against them with a hot start.
Their game against Notre Dame was kind of like your game last year. Notre Dame got off to a quick start. Georgetown kind of came back, weren't able to get over the hump. Same with you last year. I mean, you won 9-6, but you had the huge lead early on. I think it was 8-1 at one point. Mm-hmm. So they're a team that's not going to give up even if you do get ahead.
No, their coaching staff does a great job. They got guys that fight and scrap for everything. So they're a group that you can't take, when you can't take lightly going into the game and knowing that even if you do get a cushion, you know, they're going to keep fighting. They're going to keep clawing back, you know, through that final whistle. You know, last year, you know, we did everything we could to hold on for that win, even though, you know, you look at the score, it was a 3-goal win. You know, that second half didn't feel as comfortable as the score was. We barely had the ball on offense. They dominated us on face-offs, you know, in that second half. We were fortunate to have that cushion in the first half to be able to hold on to the end of the game.
Speaking of face-offs, they lost to Notre Dame 15 out of 22. So they had some issues at the face-off against Notre Dame. We talked the other day about Alec Berkeley and his performance so far this year. What's it going to take for Alec to keep that up against a Georgetown team that struggled in week 1?
You got to imagine Georgetown's, you know, either making some adjustments or really continuing to fine-tune what they need to do face-off wise. So Alec's got to, you know, continue to increase his play. You know, we're doing some stuff in practice to mimic and simulate what we're going to see against Georgetown. They've thrown short sticks, poles up there, so be able to be prepared for that. Alec's got to increase his, you know, level of competitiveness and be able to get out there, and knowing that the guy that he's going against might be a little bit stronger, so that means he's got to be technically a little bit more sound, be able to win the clamp, and then be able to bring the ball out and not get pushed off the ball, not get driven off the clamp. So, and if a pole goes out there, he's got to learn how to get the ball to a spot where he can protect himself, picking it up, and then avoid trouble from the pole.
They have one of the finest players in the country in Peter Conley. What do you do with him on Saturday?
You got to know where he is. He's a kid that they use in many different ways. A lot of times he starts, you know, without the ball and kind of works. The ball works off of different guys dodging, and he floats to space and then the ball finds him in a lot of different ways. So he's a guy that you got to be aware of, whether you're sliding off of him or not. You know, guys off ball got to be aware of him, and when he has the ball, he's obviously very dangerous. So you have to be sound and disciplined on him. But their whole offense is pretty dynamic. They got guys that were freshmen last year that got a lot of minutes, so another year of experience for those guys. I mentioned 2 freshmen starting for him in attack that are very, very terrific attackmen and guys that tested the Notre Dame defense, which is a strong defense. So our guys will have their work cut out for them.
They've played only 1 game. You've played 2. In this part of the year, how difficult is it to scout a team when you only have 1 game tape to look at?
It's difficult. You like a little bit bigger body of work to get a true sense of what a team is. You know, some of the stuff that they did against Notre Dame might not be what they do against us, just because they know how Notre Dame plays. You know, Notre Dame rides really aggressively. We ride hard, but we don't press down as much. You know, in the clearing game, what they did might be a little bit different than, you know, what we'll see on Saturday. So you got some of those things instead of having 3 games that you look at and see maybe some different styles against different teams that they've shown, and see what we do and then try to figure out if that's what they're going to do. So it's a little bit more difficult, you know, especially with they got some young guys playing, to see those guys a little bit more as well. So the early games, you know, you got to trust and believe in what you have, be ready to make adjustments when you need to during the course of the game.
The Hoyas have to look at this game as kind of it could be a feather in their cap down the line, because with Denver being in the Big East and being the prohibitive favorite to win that, Georgetown knows that they've got a really tough road to get the automatic bid in that conference. If they want to get back to the NCAAs, where they haven't been in, I think, 5 years, they have to look at an at-large bid, and a game like Towson could really be a feather in their cap.
Absolutely, you know, and that's something that we're communicating to our guys. Not that we, you know, are overly concerned with, obviously, Georgetown and their situation, but, you know, we got to understand, you know, what they're probably coming in mindset-wise, and how we need to continue to, you know, approach the game and come in with our best, you know, on the field as well. So they're definitely, I'm sure, you know, both teams are looking at it that, hey, this is a huge game, you know, not just right now, but could be down the road.
Plus, you beat them last year, so they're going to remember that too. Mm-hmm. All right, the Tigers and the Hoyas face off at noon inside Johnny Unitas Stadium. We hope to see you there, but if you can't make it to the game, it will be available on TowsonTigers.com with Ben Rosenbaum and Hunter Lochte on the call starting at 11:45. Coach, thanks for joining us, and good luck against the Hoyas, and we'll talk next week where you've got a busy week.
We do. Thank you very much, Spiro.
All right, for head coach Sean Nadelen, I'm Spiro Morekas saying thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.